Dele Alli banished from Besiktas squad until end of season. Dele Alli told to watch the remainder of the season from the stands. He doesn't deserve to play. A couple of months ago, I did a video about Dele Alli, and I feel like I should do a follow-up from that video, to follow up with some more information about Dele Alli and to also answer some comments. The story of Dele Alli is one that has been covered for several weeks and months, and is one story that most of us still refuse to believe is true. Dele Alli back in 2016, 17 and 18 was seen to be the next generation of English talent, ready to take England to the next step for the future. However, the last time he played for England was the 9th of June 2019. 4 years ago. The catastrophic collapse of Dele Alli's football career is interesting, to say the least. But before we do get into it, if you guys can do me a big favor and just hit that like button, let's try to hit 2,500 likes, because it does help push the video to many more people. And also, if you're new, then feel free and subscribe. We're gaining a fantastic community here, and we are gaining week by week, so thank you very much for that. And of course, massive shout out to the patrons of the channel and the names that you can see on screen. These people help keep the channel going and support the content. Carrie, Frederick, Kazi, Reese, Toby, Brazilian Fury, Juju, Michael Gregory, Henry Buxton, Matt Pearson, Alicia Manny, Ross Gallagher, and Jode Bangal as well. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. And let's get into the video. So, what has happened to Dele Alli now? In my initial video 3 months ago, he was being booed by Besiktas fans.
Tepki de var Dele Alli'ye.
This was after he was subbed off in the 29th minute after being 2 goals down, losing 2-0 to a side in the Turkish 3rd Division. A Turkish journalist by the name of Ali Gülüken from NTV Sport says the following: Atiba Hutchinson is now struggling in terms of performance and because of his age, but the main problem is in Dele Alli. He repeated this nothingness again yesterday. He is also a difficult player for coaches. Dealing with Dele Alli is seen as a waste of time in the next tough league marathon. As Besiktas sporting director Seyhun Kazansi claims no one can answer how to get Dele Alli back to his best, despite him being the one to bring him to the club in the first place, stating that Dele Alli is working intensively and we had intense talks with him before we even signed him. Seno, Besiktas manager, is famous for returning many players whose careers have been on a decline. We hope that he could be better in the second half of the season. And now we go to today, with some quotes from that very same manager. The recent article from last week stating that Dele Alli has been banished from the Besiktas squad and to watch from the stands for the rest of the season. This was when the Besiktas manager Şenol Güneş had a press conference speaking about Dele Alli. We gave Dele Alli permission for a small break, but he has not come back yet. It is raining, and that is probably why he did not come to training. We are trying to find out where he is. Now, if I may butt in with my own personal opinion, I think that this is just not on whatsoever. For a manager to publicly condemn a player in this manner in the public arena, I think is not on whatsoever, and it is just not professional. He may still have these opinions, he may still have these thoughts, but to put it in the public arena like this, I think only does more damage than good. Maybe there is more behind the scenes. Maybe Dele Alli is actually ignoring their calls, but even if he is, to go out in the public like this while he is still at your club, I just don't understand what there is to gain from this. All it will do is cause more friction between the squad. To see a player be publicly outcasted like this must be concerning. Dele, a couple of days later on his Instagram, posted a story saying, "Hey guys, just had a load of messages, so wanted to clear something up. The club gave me permission to attend a doctor's appointment today. I'm due back in training tomorrow as normal." However, if a manager has already banished you publicly to say that you will watch the entire season from the bench, keep in mind, he is there on loan, so he could have always went back to Everton to end his loan spell if they were so unhappy with him. Keep in mind, he was being booed by Besiktas fans before the window even opened. If this was a problem, which it was, as they spoke publicly about him not performing to his expectations, then why did he keep him on loan there? The Besiktas manager saying that he's not going to play for the entire year and is acting vindictively to force him out the club. The last time Dele Alli played for Besiktas was on the 26th of February, the first game since after the Turkish earthquake, and has not been in the squad ever since, an entire month. However, he did score and have a pretty good performance against Alanyaspor, making it 2 goals and 0 assists in the Super League in 13 appearances this season. In my original video back in December, I talked to you guys down below in the comments, and I feel like it is necessary to bring some of those comments in this video too and to have a talk about it. For example, with 1,000 likes, Adnan said the following: "As sad it is to see his potential be wasted, Dele Alli did not fail. He came from a rough background and was known to have anger issues. His aggression massively helped in his playing career, but as he made more money and his life improved, that same aggression and drive that helped him so much began to fade. I would love to see him realise his potential, but life isn't all about football, and I'm happy to see that he has massively improved his life and the lives of his loved ones." I think that this is a really good comment, and with 1,000 likes it is clear that a lot of people also agree. Carl Robinson, who was the manager at MK Dons during Dele Alli's tenure at the club, spoke in an interview yesterday about when Dele Alli was at the club, stating the following: "At the beginning of his career he made many mistakes on and off the pitch, but on the pitch that one moment of magic was what made the headlines. That Crystal Palace goal, or when he scored 2 against Chelsea at White Hart Lane. When you start watching the games, you realise that he did a lot of things wrong, but the moments of magic overshadowed that a little bit. Because we are only talking about the positive part of Dele, that became the news story. As the negativity spirals on top of him, has he done things off the pitch that have supported him on the pitch? I would have to say no at stages. If you look at the data, he's one of the hardest working, highest distance covers players playing. I think that his persona can sometimes look flippant, he can look laboured, but he always had that. I remember pinning him up against a wall at times. I remember him being dragged in a dressing room once by a senior player because he had this look in his face which was a smirk. I lost it with him, and a senior player lost it with him too. He wasn't smirking, it was just him. I remember speaking to him after and he said, 'Gaffer, I wasn't trying to be rude or disrespectful.' And when you listen to him, you go, okay, I get you a little bit more. He's made mistakes. There's not one of us who haven't made mistakes in our lives and done things that we regret. But he's still a human being who still loves football." Some great insight there by Carl Robinson, who managed Dele Alli back at MK Dons, where he made a name for himself that gave him his big break to get signed by Tottenham Hotspur back in 2015. Sometimes in football you do see a player which you can tell kind of sees football as a job. In my opinion, I think Dele Alli sees football as a job, and even though he has such natural talent, it takes him to a great stage, and he worked hard to get to where he had to be to make money, to become successful, to provide for his family. Now that he's made it, he's got all this money, he's got all these deals, I think that passion, I think that motivation to go that extra step and to maintain that, I think does fade away. There is that cliche in football that as tough as it is to win a trophy, to win a league, the hardest thing is to go and win it again, to retain it. Because if you're chasing a dream and you reach that dream, then that next step may become quite lonely for some people. Maybe lonely is not the right word, maybe lost. Another great comment on my original video from Packet of Cereal says the following: "My mate predicted this downfall years ago when Dele was still on the rise at Spurs. He doesn't love football. He's got the natural talent, but he just doesn't give enough of a damn about the game and what it takes to be great. There's many athletes all over the world who make the top level and play there, but never fulfill the talent. They don't love the game enough to sacrifice and work hard. It's just a job to them. Just because you're a pro athlete doesn't mean you're exempt of not enjoying or loving your job like the rest of us." Which I personally do agree with that, but I guess at the end of the day, we will never fully know the reasons, because Dele Alli is his own person and maybe he does love football, maybe he does see it as more of a job. Until he comes out and states it, then we just gotta make our own decisions. And the most easiest conclusion from the situation is that maybe Dele Alli just doesn't care about football as much as we like to think that he does, or we like to think footballers should care about football. Once you make so much money, you have millions in your bank, you got contracts that flies in from left, right and centre, and you're guaranteed X amount of money no matter what you do, then surely there will be some complacency at some stage. I think that that is just human nature, and I think the outliers are people who keeps moving forward even when they've already made it. And that is what makes people like Ronaldo or Messi so great, that even when they've made it, they still kept going. And that is what makes those two so legendary forever in the world of football. Dele Alli is the perfect example of a rags to riches story, completing football. Born in a poor family, his dad left a week after he was born. He grew up in a rough area in Milton Keynes and playing street football with older kids to hold his own. He played for a local football club, spotted by MK Dons, adopted by the family of one of his teammates, and then continued to improve and got his big chance and signed for Spurs. He hits the big time. He makes money that he could have never even imagined. He debuts for his country, he plays for his country at a World Cup, and he scored for his country at a World Cup. He progressed all the way up the ladder from nothing and ticked every football box possible. In his eyes, he could be like, completed it, mate. His motivation could be gone, he could be checked out, he's made his money, he's got what he wants from life. With football, he sees it as a job now, and we may see it as a shame, but it's his life. This is something which we see with many footballers. Once they've made it, we think that they can continue to improve and improve, but maybe that's just not what they want. Maybe they're happy. And this same story could be said for many, many footballers. For example, Jesse Lingard is one that people also speak of, and he's got a similar story too. 98% of comments on my main video was positive. There was a few that may have saw that I had a different intention than what I wanted it to be. I'm simply a fan, and Dele Alli was an incredible footballer for many years, and it is a shame to see someone which you know has got such talent there and such potential, and you think that he can be doing more, and to see that not work out is a shame for anyone that has got any involvement or any care for the sport. Tell me your thoughts down below about Dele Alli, or maybe about just footballers as a whole. If you're new, then please do subscribe to the channel. It does mean a lot. Thank you for, I believe by the time you see this, we should be on 333,000 subscribers, and let's try to hit 2,500 likes, and I'll see you next time.